welcome, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My historic epistolary icebreaker will carry us from the Swiss Alps French border through New York City, Ellis Island, to Illinois, all the way to southern Louisiana, to right here tonight. Let me start. If I had to title this speech, I'd probably call it The Last Dorfin Boy. My name is Earl Dorfin. And if you're going to start with the last, you got to have the first. So the first Dorfin boy was Edmond Dauphin. He was from France on the Swiss border. And at 18 years of age, he decided to leave his mom and dad and sister, take a boat across the Atlantic, and he wound up in New York City at Ellis Island, where he applied for his citizenship. From there, he went to Illinois, where he met a clan of people called the Robertsons, specifically Waverly Robertson, my grandma. From there, they moved to southwest Louisiana. Lafayette, are y'all familiar with Lafayette, Crowley, all that area? It's a little area called the Prairie Cajun, and that's where they settled down. What, 5 acres? Those 5 acres are still in the Dorfin family, and a Dorfin still lives there. Interestingly, Cajun French was the language spoke there. He spoke pure French. He wasn't allowed to speak French around the house with the kids. He didn't want to be an outsider. Even though Cajun French was spoke, you didn't want to speak pure French, okay? A little history on them. They had, and here's kind of the reason I call it the last Dorfin boy. Grandma and Grandpa had 8 kids, 5 boys, 5 Dorfin boys, 3 Dorfin girls. Those all grew up in Iota. That's the name of the town, Iota, Louisiana, a little small town. The 3 aunts, they had, let's see, look at my numbers. They had 7 boys. And between the 3 of them, they had 7 boys, 2 girls. The 5 brothers, my dad and 4 uncles, they had 9 girls and 1 boy. I'll let you figure out who that 1 boy was. So the last Dorfin boy was, there were no more Dorfins from that family. We lost them all we lost track of them during World War I. And so there's no history after that, even though many of my cousins have gone back to try to find out about them. So anyway, it didn't mean anything to me. Family reunions, as a matter of fact, after World War II, the Dorfin family shortly after started having family reunions that are going on today. This Thanksgiving, we'll have, 70th family reunion. There'll be 40 to 50 people there. But somewhere by the time I got to be about 20 years old, I started hearing, you're the last Dorfin boy. Didn't mean anything to me, By the time I was 25, that started resounding a little bit more. You're the last Dorfin boy. Still didn't mean anything to me. Now, when I met my wife and we got engaged and she started hearing it, it carried a little bit more weight to her. Not that there was any pressure or anything like that. So that's a little bit about that. Those family reunions, we still have 1 veteran from World War II. One of the original is there. She's 98 years old. She's my mom. She was Lieutenant Irma Boulay. She was Cajun French, but she married my dad. So she's still there. That was who I was talking to outside. It's like, Mom, she's going to call me at the most inopportune time. How you doing? So, hold on 1 second. Okay. So let's fast forward. That's kind of my history. Y'all ever watch the television show How I Met Your Mother?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, here's, as I tell the kids, how I met your mother. So, I'm in Baton Rouge. I went to LSU, as we talked about. Grew up in a small town, and that's all I ever thought about. I'm going to LSU. My dad was manager of the LSU football team. His brother was a manager of the LSU football team. Got to go there. Never thought anyplace else. Anyway, went to LSU, stayed there, and it was home after I graduated. So this is how I met my mom. I kind of knew this girl and wanted to ask her out, but kind of shy and didn't really, trying to find out a reason to do it. Well, my friend was having a going-away party, and she knew him, so I asked her out. It was a big step. Took her to the party, and there was my friend talking to some girl, and my date went that way, just to visit people, and I went that way to talk to Donnie. And Donnie was facing me, and there was this girl he was talking to. I started talking to her, and talked to her for 30 minutes, the two of us. Other people came, it was 4 people talking. It was me talking for the next hour and a half. And never did go see my date that I was with that night. But I did bring her home. Okay, so after I brought her home, the girl that I met at the party, I never had another date with anyone but her. But she was only in town for 3 weeks. She moved away to Abilene, and we started writing letters. This was before cell phones, this was before texting. We wrote letters, and we called each other. And then she moved to Jackson, Mississippi. And we still wrote letters, and I saved all those letters, Unfortunately, I had a lady take them away. Totally destroy them. That was Katrina, is what I call that lady. So that was one of the things that we lost. So anyway, eventually we knew each other dated for 3.5 years before we got married. And we finally, after 3.5 years, lived in the same town, Baton Rouge. I'm 30 at this point. I'm still hearing, you're the last orphan boy. She's hearing it too. 5 years, we're married 5 years with no kids. I'm really starting to hear. But Earl, there's no more orphan boys. So anyway, we did have kids. We had 3 kids, and that was great. We lived in Baton Rouge for a good period of time, and then there came a time in 1999, we'd been in Baton Rouge for 13 years of marriage. I wanted to move because I was raised in a small town. I wanted our kids to grow up in a small town. So Linda's parents are from D'Iberville. So let's go to D'Iberville. You'd think she'd be excited about coming home. Kicking and screaming. You'd think the kids were excited about coming home. They're in the 5th and 6th grade, kicking and screaming. So we decided to move, but Linda's my wife. Oh my gosh, is that the red? Okay, we decided to move. Linda comes to me and says, Earl, I want to go, we're going to go, but I want to have the kids live in a foreign country. So we went to Central America, lived there for 6 months, enrolled them in school. I commuted back and forth every 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off from D'Iberville to Belize. And then we finally came here. Fast forward, since I'm running out of time, now I've got 3 kids. 2 live in Nashville. One's married, don't have any grandkids. And Lynn and I are empty nesters, living at home, traveling. She's a physical therapist, works part-time. I'm a financial advisor, and I kind of work part-time too. And I do have 1 son. His name is Parker, and now he's hearing it already. Parker, you're the last orphan.
You're no longer the last orphan.
No, we get.